Banter is the language of friendship. It's playful teasing, witty comebacks, and the ability to joke around without anyone getting hurt. Most language learners never master it because nobody teaches it. But native speakers use it constantly.
And if you want to learn how to do banter like a native speaker, subscribe to English That Works podcast.
So stick around. This is going to be fun.
I'm Claire, by the way.
David here, let's go.
So what exactly is banter? Is it just making jokes?
Banter is a form of playful conversation where people joke with each other in a way that strengthens friendship. It's not mean. It's not trying to hurt anyone. It's actually the opposite. It's a sign of trust and closeness.
So the more you banter with someone, the closer you are?
Exactly. If someone never jokes with you, you might wonder if they like you. But if they're bantering constantly, joking around, teasing, that means they're comfortable with you.
That's actually a signal of friendship.
Tone is everything in banter. The same words can be banter, or can be cruel depending on how you say them. "You're always late" can be a friendly joke or a genuine criticism. The difference is in the tone and the context.
So you need to understand the relationship to know if something is banter?
Right. With close friends, almost anything can be banter. With strangers, you have to be more careful. You need to read the room and match the energy.
That's why banter is harder in a second language.
One of the safest forms of banter is self-deprecating humor. You make fun of yourself instead of the other person. I'm so bad at remembering names, I'd probably forget my own if people didn't keep using it. That's banter.
So you're not attacking anyone else?
Right. Self-deprecating humor shows confidence. It's funny because you're comfortable enough with yourself to joke about your flaws.
And people tend to like people who can laugh at themselves.
Exaggeration is a huge part of banter. Someone says they're tired, and you say, "Yeah, you look like you haven't slept in 3 weeks. Are you a zombie?" The exaggeration makes it clearly playful, not serious.
So the more outrageous it is, the clearer it is that you're joking?
Exactly. If you exaggerate wildly, nobody can think you're being serious. That makes it safe banter because everyone knows you're not genuinely insulting them.
That's actually clever.
Comebacks are a huge part of banter. Someone says something and you respond with a witty reply. "You're such a mess." "At least I'm an honest mess." "You're a mess trying to hide it." That's quick thinking and playfulness combined.
So you have to listen carefully and respond cleverly?
Right. Good banter requires active listening. You're not just waiting for your turn. You're actually paying attention so you can respond to what they said.
That makes it feel personal and warm.
The biggest rule of banter is, don't cross the line. You can joke about someone's style, their habits, their quirks, but don't go after their insecurities or their real pain. There's a difference between banter and bullying.
How do you know where the line is?
You watch their reaction. If they're laughing and responding with banter back, you're good. If they go quiet or seem hurt, you crossed it. Good bantering friends communicate. If something isn't funny to them, they'll say it.
So it's really about respect.
Timing is crucial. Someone delivers a joke, and there's a pause before the punchline. The pause builds anticipation. Or something funny happens, and you respond instantly with a quick comment. Both require timing.
Can you practice timing?
You can. Watch stand-up comedy. Listen to podcasts where people banter naturally. Notice how they pause when they hit the joke, how they let silence work for them.
So studying banter is like studying any other skill.
Wordplay is a classic form of banter. Someone says something, and you make a pun or twist the meaning. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. How is it? It's impossible to put down. That's banter based on wordplay.
So you're looking for double meanings?
Right. It requires creativity and language knowledge. You need to know enough words and meanings to spot opportunities for wordplay.
That's why native speakers are so good at banter.
Observational humor is when you notice something funny about a situation and comment on it. Someone walks in looking exhausted, and you say, "Rough day," or "Were you attacked by pirates?" It's not attacking them, it's just commenting on what you observe.
So you're being a commentator?
Exactly. You're finding humor in everyday situations and sharing that observation. That's why good comedians are good at banter. They notice funny things about how people behave.
And people like when someone finds humor in their shared experience.
Banter isn't just for friends. Professional banter exists too. It's lighter and less personal, but it's still there. A coworker sends a late email and you say, "Burning the midnight oil." That's light banter that builds connection at work.
But it has to be appropriate to the setting.
Right. Professional banter is less edgy. You're careful about topics. You keep it brief. You read the person's personality. Some bosses banter easily. Others prefer formality.
So context matters everywhere.
Different people banter differently. Some people are sarcastic. Some are more direct. Some use absurdist humor. Good bantering people adapt to the style of the person they're with.
So you have to read someone's sense of humor.
Absolutely. Someone makes an absurdist joke and you match that energy. Someone else is more sarcastic and you respond with sarcasm. You're having a conversation, not performing.
That's actually social intelligence.
In writing or text, banter is dangerous because tone disappears. Something funny said in person might sound mean in a text message. That's why people use emoji, to signal tone. "You're such a disaster" is banter. "You're such a disaster" looks mean.
So you have to be extra careful online.
Right. The safer you want to be, the more you need to signal your tone. Exclamation marks, emoji, being explicit about humor. "You always forget things, haha. I love that about you" is clearer than "you always forget things."
That makes sense.
The real power of banter is that it builds intimacy. When two people can banter comfortably, they've established trust. They've shown they can handle playfulness and criticism without it damaging the relationship.
So banter is actually relationship building?
Completely. It's a way of saying, "I'm comfortable with you. I trust you. I enjoy you." Without banter, relationships feel more formal and distant.
That explains why friends banter so much.
Reading the room is essential. If someone seems stressed or upset, that's not the time for banter. If the group is in a serious conversation, jumping in with jokes can seem insensitive. Good bantering people know when to joke and when to be serious.
So awareness is part of the skill?
Absolutely. The best bantering people are usually good listeners. They pay attention to mood, energy, what people need in the moment.
Banter isn't selfish. It's generous.
Banter varies by culture. Some cultures love playful teasing. Others are more reserved. British banter is often dry and understated. American banter might be louder and more self-deprecating. Australian banter can be very direct and irreverent.
So you need to understand cultural context?
Yes, moving to a new culture means learning that culture's banter style. What's hilarious in one place might seem rude in another.
That's why banter is so hard for language learners.
Sometimes banter fails. You make a joke and it lands flat. The skilled person doesn't panic. They acknowledge it. "Okay, that was terrible." Or, "Yeah, I'm not a comedian." That honesty and self-awareness actually gets a laugh.
So you don't try to recover with more jokes?
No. That usually makes it worse. The best recovery is to acknowledge the failure quickly and move on. Or make fun of yourself for the bad joke.
That takes confidence.
To get better at banter, consume comedy. Watch stand-up. Watch shows with witty dialogue. Listen to podcasts where people banter naturally. Read funny writing. Your brain will absorb patterns of humor.
So it's learning by exposure?
Partly, but also practice with people you're comfortable with. Start with safer banter, exaggeration, self-deprecation, observational humor, before you try more edge.
So skill building is gradual.
Banter requires confidence. You're putting yourself out there. You're making jokes that might not land. You're being vulnerable. People who are too worried about being perfect avoid banter.
So banter is actually brave?
It is. You're saying, "I'm comfortable enough to be playful with you. I trust you won't use my jokes against me." That's trust.
Banter is really about vulnerability.
Sarcasm is banter when done right. "Oh, sure, your plan is totally foolproof." Said in a bantering tone is funny. But sarcasm can also be mean-spirited and attack-focused. The difference is intent and tone.
So sarcasm can be banter or not?
Right. Gentle sarcasm that's clearly playful is banter. Mean sarcasm designed to demean is not. Intent matters.
So you have to check your own intentions.
Good banter has rhythm. Back and forth. Someone says something, you respond, they respond back. It's like a dance. You're each building on what the other person said.
So it's collaborative?
Completely. Bad banter is one person trying to be funny. Good banter is two people making each other funnier. You feed off each other's energy.
That's actually beautiful.
Banter with strangers requires care. You don't know their sense of humor yet. Safest approach is to comment on something shared in the moment. This line is never ending to a stranger in a queue. They respond, and you can gauge their humor style.
So you start light and feel it out?
Right. You're not trying to be hilarious. You're testing the waters. If they banter back, you can go deeper. If they don't, you accept it gracefully.
And that builds connection with them.
Be careful with banter across power differences. Boss joking with employee is different from employee joking with boss. The person with less power has to be careful. A joke that's funny from your friend might seem insubordinate from an employee.
So hierarchy affects banter?
It does. Understanding power dynamics keeps banter from becoming inappropriate. This is where reading the person and the situation becomes even more critical.
Context is everything.
For English learners, banter is an advanced skill, but incredibly rewarding. When you can banter in English, you've crossed a threshold. You're not just speaking the language. You're playing with it. You're in a social relationship where humor matters.
So banter means you've really integrated?
Exactly. Native speakers bond through banter. If you can banter, you're truly in the social circle. That's when you know your English has reached a different level.
That's a powerful milestone.
To practice banter, start by observing. Notice how your friends joke. What makes them laugh? Then practice with people you're comfortable with. Make observations about shared situations. Use exaggeration. Be self-deprecating. Gradually try more complex forms of humor.
So it's intentional skill building?
Right. Banter might seem natural and spontaneous, but good bantering people have practiced and refined their humor. They've learned what works and what doesn't. That takes time.
And it's worth it.
If this helped you understand the art of banter, subscribe to English That Works podcast.
We break down the communication skills that make you sound natural and build real relationships. Every episode, one skill that actually works.